Ladies and gentlemen, more and more people in America are saying they're seeing online threats of violence based on race, gender, and sexuality. Now, these things are not new at all. People have seen these things before. There are people that have had these threats directed towards them. And look, America have a lot of societal problems because they refuse to enforce the laws across the board. They enforce laws based on who you are and racism. That's how laws are enforced in America. It's not based on, okay, these are the laws in the books, and no matter who it is, we're going to enforce the law. A lot of the societal problems that you see now probably wouldn't exist, but we know these people ain't about to do the right thing. They would die before they do the right thing. So, the majority of Americans report seeing online threats of violence based on race, gender, and sexuality. So, ladies and gentlemen, more than half of Americans said they have seen social media posts calling for violence against someone based on their race, gender, or sexuality, according to results of a new poll. And women and LGBTQ people reporting higher rates of online harassment compared with other groups. That is very true. That is very, very true. Okay, I have experienced that before. So I know it's true. The survey commissioned by Ultraviolet, GLAD, Kairos, and Women March. Uh, it includes an example of over 1,000 social media users with over samples of people of color, women, and LGBTQ respondents. The alarming poll results reinforce just how badly social media companies are failing when it comes to protecting marginalized communities online. Well, that's intentional. That's intentional. These things have been going on probably as long as there have been a social media online. And they do little to nothing about it. And I'm not surprised, you know, they actually allow trolling to run rampant on many of these social media sites. They allow it. And these companies, all of them, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, they got the authority to shut these people down, and they choose to do nothing in many cases. But they are big enough where they could put something in place to shut a lot of this down and ban these people. Even if they go to a different IP address, you can ban them if you really want to. Trust me. Don't let them tell you, "Oh, we can't really do." Yes, they can. I worked in IT. If you really truly want to shut someone down, you can. You can. Okay. At a time when online hate and harassment is leading to real world threats and violence, these companies must urge improvement to enforce of content and ad policies. Everyone deserves to feel safe on social media, Ellis added. Well, everybody deserves to be safe in society as a whole, whether you're online or offline, you know? But y'all, this place is declining, and the people in charge are not going to be in charge forever. And just look at how many things they have failed to do, but they really, in their minds, think they should remain in power. I mean, just look at how they tell the rapture. Oh, we're going to be raptured up. Oh, and then we're going to be up in heaven and all this chaos is going to break out across the earth, and then we're going to come back and resume running everything again. Does that even sound right? And look at the mess that's right in their face and they're not even trying to fix. But you should come back and run the world again. I mean, what if that don't send you on the floor rolling and laughing, nothing will. But that's how they explain their rapture doctrine. You suck at running everything now, but you're going to go to heaven and come back and suck at running it again? Oh, please. So, findings of the poll carried out by YouGov also showed women, people of color, this is what they put, so don't kill the messenger, and members of LGBTQ, the community experience harm by witnessing harassment against their communities. And even when the posts aren't directly targeting them. So they're saying when they see the harassment, and it may not be towards them, but they know it's towards someone like them, they are still impacted by it. And I certainly understand that. I do. Online hate has created real world violence everywhere from El Paso, Texas, Charlottesville, Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, Buffalo, New York, the Boston's Children's Hospital, the home of Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and the halls of the US Capitol in Washington, D.C. That's very true. Instead of monitoring or moderating channels because you don't like what someone is saying, why not monitor it for enforcing the law? Now, all of these social media platforms claim that they will give things to the authorities. But we have heard time and time again of manifestos being out there, some of them out there for a long time. See, that's what you should be looking for instead of trying to over police a channel because you don't like what someone is saying. That's stupid and that's immature. And that just goes to show you you're not there to do a job. You're not. That's very immature. If you were mature, you would be focused on getting the people off that are breaking the law. When you're putting a manifesto out there talking about how many people you want to delete, that's what you should be doing, focusing on that and getting those folks off of social media. But instead of that, you'll come to a channel like mine because you don't like what I'm saying and you want to come and do all this stuff. And you think we don't know, you contractors, because YouTube don't hire y'all, you contractors are behind the scenes doing all this stuff. We know you are. you know and don't tell me because I've seen the stories. Google treat you contractors like stepchildren. You do you. So, when it comes to specific attacks based on race, 52% of respondents said they've experienced harassment based on their race or sexuality. 31% said they have experienced harassment based on gender identity. Nearly 40% of the people of color reported facing race or ethnicity based harassment, compared with 15% of white respondents. A quarter of women have experienced appearance based harassment, compared to 17% of men. Overall, more than 60% of all respondents considered hate speech a major problem, and nearly one in three Americans believe social media platforms do a poor job at addressing online harassment on their sites. Yeah, no, you know why? Because they're occupying their time monitoring us, the black channels. I'll tell you why. Like I said, they're not doing a real job. That's why these manifestos and all these things are going under the radar because they're so busy watching us, hating what we're saying, doing little chinksy saying, BS behind the scenes to try to get back at us because they don't like what we're saying. That's the kind of people they got working for them. Instead of doing a real job and getting these people offline that are on here calling for race wars, brandishing weapons, making threats on video. We all seen them. Instead of getting see those people go under the radar while they got their eyes on us. That's what's going on. That's why these people, every time you turn around, there's a mass shooting and they got manifestos. Sometimes the manifestos have been out there for years. Sometimes the videos where they're making all kinds of threats have been out there for years. You know, yeah. So if this is what you're hiring your contractors to do, no wonder why it's going rampant out here. So platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as much as they may hope or claim to be, are just not healthy places for women, people of color, and members of the LGBTQ community. Our online lives are deep and meaningful, but for too many people, harassment and hate are part of the daily user experience. Platforms can and must do better. They won't. They won't. I mean, and look at Elon Musk. As soon as he acquired Twitter, they said the N word was used thousands of times out there. See, that's what we're talking about. And he ain't make no mention of it at all. And he's not going to do anything about it, y'all. All he's focused on is how many people he can lay off. He don't care what these folks are saying to each other out here. He could care less. When it comes to solution, repercussion, and platform accountability, where the most popular among survey respondents, followed by platforms improving content moderation on their own or enforcing or creating new policies. However, respondents were more likely to support government regulation of platforms after completing the survey. Yeah, that's why every time the subject of Section 230 comes up, these social media platforms, these platforms, they panic because they have been able to be lackadaisical about all of the harassment going on and hide behind Section 230. Oh, well, we can't be sued. We can't do nothing about it because we got Section 230. That's why you heard people like Donald Trump when he was still in office and some members of Congress saying that they need to get rid of this because that's a big reason why a lot of the harassment and the stuff going on online is happening because they got Section 230, which means they can't be sued for any reason. They got that in place. I don't even know how they got away with even getting something like that in place. And you got Congress, you got the Supreme Court, all of them sitting on their behinds, and nobody is doing a thing about it. So, why should they clean up anything? No matter what, they got that as a shield. And in my opinion, no company should have that. None. I don't care who you are. In addition, despite the threats, witness social media users tended to feel, um, they felt a certain way about their personal risk and their overall attitudes about online experience. Overall, a lot of people say it's really not bad online, but They feel that the social media companies, when things are going on, they tend to look the other way, or they don't take the complaint seriously. Or if something is going on, because if you remember, Nicholas Cruz was on live stream making threats, and it was a group of people with him. And after the school shooting, it just goes to show you these people are horrible judges of character. They gonna come on talking about, I know he said that, but I didn't think he was serious. Yeah, you didn't think he was serious, because that just goes to show you, when somebody is light and bright just like you think nothing is serious. And then when the shooting happens, you sit there looking stupid. You're a terrible judge of character. That's what it means. When somebody is making an idle threat in your face and your response is, I didn't think they were serious, you're a bad judge of character. Point blank. You're terrible when it comes down to seeing the real character of that person. You're just bad at it. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.